Yes, sir. What's up, guys?
Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in three, two, 1.
On the troll.
Hello and welcome to Mzansi. We're back again. It's that time of the night where we have to deliver as usual, regardless of what happened, regardless of the day, regardless how tired we are. We greet you and we hope that you are in good spirit this morning or this night. If you are in other countries, obviously it's different time zones. But what is important is that all of you are live right now. And I see that many people are calling us even outside live time. And the live time is 10:30 to 11. So if you don't find us at 10:30, that means there's a lot of things that we need to do. I would start at 11. As of today, obviously there's a lot of things to look at. So we started at 11, 11:05. But that's the time. So any other time beyond that, it's our time. We greet you and we hope that the message is heard in good spirit. And what we're going to do today, obviously, we're going to go through what happened in court and also discuss and deliberate as much as we can. You can say the court was cut short, but there was a lot of things to be done, a lot of things that needed to be captured and be heard. And we are here with it. So let us hope you're going to enjoy it. As we do that, please subscribe, like the video. Grateful for those who are doing that all the time without being reminded.
Yes.
And we also appreciate the fact that there are people who need to be reminded to do that. With all that, we are still family. Emily, let us go with the flow.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Here we discuss the Senzo Meyiwa trial for as long as it's going on. I think that's more of us. We're very much interested in the case, and if you want a deliberation or a discussion on some of the things that are happening in that courtroom, then this is the right place for you. And don't forget to subscribe, to comment, to like, and to share the video with people who are as interested as we all are in this case, okay? So Constable Zungu was expected to conclude his evidence in chief this morning before cross-examination started. Now, allegedly, it is reported that accused number 5 was refusing to leave his cell this morning. However, all the accused managed to make it in court. Now, the state was expected to raise issues with accused number 5's gestures during Zungu's testimony yesterday. So, yeah, there was a footage of him that played in court, and apparently he was doing trigger signs.
Yeah.
Did you see it, Mr. Anonymous?
No, I saw it.
What was the one?
But it was more of, I don't know, from anger.
He was doing the trigger signs.
Yeah, I saw it.
He was talking to accused number 4.
Yes.
But
for some weird reason, it was seen by Baloyi, and then Baloyi obviously used it to sort of advance his case in saying that, as I said,
intimidating the
my witness, as he was saying, is being intimidated, my lord. That being said, though, I understand his frustration. I mean, the guy is saving his life. His sentence. Yeah, he's serving his sentence. He's not interested in any other things that are arising outside that are not meant for him. He's even, I mean, you remember how angry he was at the beginning when he was talking, pointing at someone that we don't know. Ungisusele iqala kabusha ufikele iqala kabusha ngazi bethi uzokubuthelezi or what.
Oh, was it on the Netflix documentary?
Yeah, it was, I don't know where it was, but there's a video of Sifisokuhle Nkani from the word go at Maumela's time. The guy was not happy because he was serving his time at Kalakabusha.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now he finds himself in this Johannesburg jail because of this case, because someone needed something. It is kind of a bitter pill to swallow. As much as, I mean, you are in jail for whatever reason that you came here for, and you are serving those. And it is also funny that it was due warrant Officer Makubo, right?
Yes.
That this guy went to jail.
In the first place, this is the one who
the very same guy
investigated
today
and-
that they are afraid and allergic from when he had to come and testify. They even would like to use hearsays when it comes to him, while he's still alive, while he's still available, while he's still functioning under the SAPS. So it just doesn't make sense.
And while he's the reason why Sifisokuhle Nkani, accused number 5, is serving right now his sentence.
He is.
He investigated him and he nailed him and he found out everything. Enough proof, enough evidence. It's not easy to do an investigation, as we are learning with these high profile cases, and do it properly, especially with a character like Sifisokuhle Nkani, accused number 5. You know, he's not just, he's an inkabi, a serious one.
Yes.
So for him to have been able to succeed in getting a conviction, I mean, it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. And
So-
without being followed, as Zungu is claiming to be followed, it just amazes me that today the guy is saying, no. What you're saying about this man that I arrested, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
We'll find out some of the contradictions, and there are a lot of them when it comes to Zungu. I mean, his story is not really making sense.
Yes, if you look closer to that statement, and if you miss that statement and you just listen to the flow, you would actually think the statement is flowing.
And
And
it
the statement
correlates,
has like a lot of flaws.
Loopholes.
And
with his
it's,
evidence in
it sounds too rehearsed. Even with that, it still sounds. It still has a bit of a lot of contradictions. Actually, not a bit.
Yep, it's a lot. That so much so the court had to adjourn early so that they find those notes, okay, that he says he wrote to compare. So yeah, the state was raising issues with accused number 5's gestures during Zungu's testimony, and the state said that it could amount to contempt of court. The judge said, accused number 5, do you see yourself there? And Ntuli said, yes, I do. And the judge said, what were you trying to convey? And Advocate Mshololo said, my lord, objection, the accused is represented. Then the judge said, Mshololo, please sit down. I found that very...
I don't know what the judge is. That's why.
But it's fine. The judge said, what were you trying to convey? And Ntuli said, I can't remember because sitting here, I can't even see the accused. And the judge said, I'm asking what message were you trying to communicate? And Ntuli said, I don't remember. On the footage, he was talking to accused number 4. So the signs the state said were a threat to Zungu. Okay, so those signs that he was making, the state are saying that they were a threat to Zungu.
So they
Mshololo
buffed up
said-
security.
Yes, they even buffed up security this morning, child. And they said that he was going to be traveling with security even as he goes and fetches those notes in KZN over the weekend. So what are his notes doing in KZN?
If they are there.
If they are there.
If they are there.
Mshololo then said there are no utterances. We could not hear from the video clip. And the judge said, ever heard of sign language? It's official. Okay, judge. Okay. Then Mshololo then said, when I was asking him as to what he was doing, Mr. Ntuli denies that he was speaking to the witness when he was referring to the gesture depicted in the video clip. As you can see, my lord, that he was speaking next to accused number 4, who was next to him, not that he was speaking to the witness. Baloyi then said, "My lord, there's a gesture of pulling of the trigger. To me, my lord, that is very serious." Baloyi says that any such behavior will be considered as in contempt of court, and the accused should desist from this. He referred to a handbook by Snyman Criminal Law, a 7th edition, and he read from it something. And the judge just said, "Read it for us. You must interpret that for the accused, okay?" Reminding Ubab Jonas. Then Baloyi says the court must admonish the accused. Okay, and Sipho Ramasipili says that he has spoken to the accused about their conduct in court. And Advocate Charles Mnisi says that tempers flare in court, but the environment must be fair to give evidence. Vice versa, witnesses should also be cautioned not to say something that will affect the emotions of the accused. And thanks to the court for bringing it to their attention. Advocate Zitulele Nxumalo said he's spoken
That's
to
a
his
double
client.
sword. That's a double sword. There, this is weeping more on the state also, because the state has been all protective when it comes to the witnesses, but not protective when it comes to the accused. They were even pointed and talked to in this very same court.
Called dogs at some point by Tumelo Madlala.
And nothing was ever done.
Nothing. They just said, Miss Kumalo, Mr. Madlala, come down, please. But when it comes to the accused, it's like, there's no come down, please. It's like, so you, what do you mean, sir? What do you mean by those gestures? What do you mean?
I've been seeing. What have you been seeing, and why were you quiet?
And why were you quiet?
Why didn't you address it from the word go? Why now are you pretending as if now you are
That's
letting
your
everything
job,
go?
By the way. Your job is not to speak on behalf of witnesses.
It seems as if everything that touches Baloyi,
out this behavior.
that everything that touches Baloyi is very important. And then everything that touches the others, sit down, Chololo. Sit down. The guy is rude, man. The guy is so rude.
Tumelo was doing everything extra, and he was like, "Come down, Mr. Madlala. Come down, sir. Come down." And he even said, emotions, tempers flare. Yes, I like that Advocate Nisi brought it back and used it again, because he said the same thing. Tempers flare when Tumelo Madlala was busy there.
This is on the go. Nisi, when it comes to this man, he's had it. He's up here. He's keeping everything that he does.
On
it's like he's waiting for the right time to unleash, and for long he kept that.
Yes, that was his excuse for Abo Lorraine Nabo Tumelo doing extra. He was saying, "Calm down, tempers flare, tempers flare all the time." So Advocate Zitulele Nxumalo also said that he's spoken to his client about the decorum of the court. And Advocate Zandile Mshololo said that if the state is serious about this, they should have warned Tumelo Madlala when he insulted the accused. The same manner in which the accused are warned, the witnesses should be warned as well regarding their actions when they're sitting at the box. Maybe we need to get clarity on whether they should not make any actions, something like that, my lord. Be more specific on how you want them to sit and communicate with each other.
It's a very difficult one because they're talking to each other. What do you want to know?
Tell them that they should not be speaking in such a manner, all right? So the judge said if someone wants to cough, they can. I have no problem with that. Let me tell you, I have 50 years of experience in criminal law. I know all these tricks. I saw those gestures when the witness did a turnaround under cross-examination by Mr. Ramusipili. Yes, I was watching. I just kept quiet. If you want to confirm this, you can ask the JP. I brought it to his attention, the attention of the JP. So, Angsimpata, please, I'm not this judge. Okay, it sounded like the judge was saying that Jack Buthelezi was threatened when he was giving evidence. But here's the thing. Jack was speaking about accused number 2, Bongani Ntuli, not accused number 5. Unless if you're trying to tell us that accused number 2 was also making threatening gestures to Jack Buthelezi.
This guy is, man, he can also lie.
That
man.
man did a turnaround because he was hit by his conscience.
Simple
the whole
as that.
nation saw that. How come you are not seeing that, judge?
Because he didn't say what he wanted him to say.
And to think that he was the one pressing that the witness did not say that.
He was
The
busy
witness-
protecting the
Yes.
witness.
Now it's making you look very dodgy. Like, what is
Oh, the
happening?
guy is George, obvious. The
What
guy
is
George.
happening? Because you are the one who were pressing and insisting on the fact that he said that.
I don't know how many
he's
times
the one-
Ramusibe had to change his line of questioning because you were on his throat saying, hey, not even in a nice way.
And Ramusibe was like, I'll drum it until I get it. And he continued to press on. And after speaking the story of what was happening on that day, it hit Jack Buthelezi that no, man.
These people, we are not fighting with these people.
They lied to me, most probably, allegedly.
Yes. So let me tell what has happened.
I mean,
Here we go.
They said that he did the crime. He was at Vosloorus on the night of the incident. And I guess the judge was not happy with that. He wanted the consistency.
He said.
The consistency of the alleged lies. Okay, so Baloyi then said we can also confirm that what the court has remarked now regarding the other witnesses, Mr. Buthelezi, that was also brought to our attention.
Is that
So
the reason
Baloyi-
why they changed the witnesses, as it is alleged that there was a witness? Hey, these people.
No, but the people who are close to the incident are saying otherwise, allegedly. So it can't be that you had to restructure because you, Jack Buthelezi was. No, I don't think. In fact, Jack Buthelezi was happy to see Ntanzi. So you explain to us how he was threatened because we don't understand that part. You understand? He was happy. Did he not?
He must come with
say-
the footage also.
And the footage also, like you did with the other one, because
He didn't sleep
Buthelezi
chopping
was
and cutting that
happy.
footage.
was happy to see Bongani Ntuli accused number 2. In fact, they were smiling at each other. There was none of what you are trying to allege. And he did not testify. Buthelezi did not testify on accused number 5. He was only talking about accused number 2. So the judge said, no, I saw it. Baloyi said, hence we felt that the accused should be admonished about such conduct. And the judge said, I saw it. I kept quiet. That's why I mentioned it. They might attract contempt of court application. And all the accused are warned. He brought up the Robb versus Hepworth of 1928, which says a criminal case is not a joke. It's not for both parties. It's not, even for the accused.
And the judge is not a merely simple umpire there who's detecting which side the game should go to. That's 1928, according to my understanding. We are not an umpire there who's there to, not a coach actually.
No.
I'm adding to that 1928. That's 1928/2023.
2023. Zungu testified on the pictures that he says he got from Gwabini's phone. He then sent those pictures to his phone. That's what he said. And he said that he can't remember. But when it was the time that they met in Tembisa in 2019. So he's telling us that he got the pictures from the 26th of October 2014 on Gwabini's phone in 2019. That's what he's telling us, Mr. Anonymous.
He's saying?
He's telling us that the pictures
Yes.
of the 26th of October
And
2014...
what did I say?
I don't remember.
I say that I felt like these pictures were shared.
Oh, yes, you did yesterday. Yes, you did say you feel like maybe there was a transfer.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the fact that Gwabini had pictures and a phone from
Not you.
2014.
Not you.
And the pictures are in his gallery in 2019. Yo. Do you have your same phone you had in 2014?
Hey.
Who still has the phone they
No,
had
I
in
don't.
2014?
I only have the number.
Do you still have it,
It was
family?
it was there because it was a SIM swap.
Well, he's telling us that he got pictures from the 26th of October 2014 on Gwabini's phone in 2019. Let that sink in. And accused number 1 and 2's pictures, he says he downloaded them from his phone because the general...
What was the need of
wanted to see them.
this friend to download these pictures? Because I mean, this friend is an active friend with these people.
Already, this is very suspicious.
Why do you need other people's phone to download?
He then showed it to General Lishabani, who wanted to see the pictures of the accused, asked him about partaking in alcohol, what was the state of his sobriety. He said that on the day of the incident he was drinking, but he was not drunk. So Sipho Ramosepele asked again that the firearm that you gave Gwabini, did he put it in your bag or store it separately? And Zungu said, when we started drinking, I gave him the firearm. I don't think he placed it in the bag. And the statement says otherwise. We'll find out. Asked about the firearm and the bag, he now said that the firearm was with him. He gave him the bag later on.
Gave him
He
the
gave
firearm.
him the firearm.
Also later on. But when they
Later
went to
on.
the store, the firearm was with him. The law of firearm handling is you must have the same license of that particular firearm to actually keep, or for me to keep your firearm, Emil. I must have the license that
For the
you
firearm.
also have in terms of that particular firearm. So that's
Wow.
when I can keep your firearm, and that, in fact, I can even go as further as using it,
Wow.
as long as I have the
The
license.
license as well.
Yes.
So does it mean that this license in a copy form or this license in
No,
an
not
original
your
form?
not your license. So it's like if it
both
if
of
it
us
was
having
if
a
it was
license for
yes,
the
that means I
same,
must yes
firearm.
yes.
Okay. So that is possible.
So in this case, that's why Ramosipit was asking, does Gwabini have the license?
So for a long time, the firearm was in his possession. Eventually, after they started drinking, he then left the firearm with him. And Ramosipele asked Zungu to explain the setting where they were seated at the hostel. And Zungu said, as I said, the hostel is an open space and Gwabini's room is facing the hall. So Ramosipele asked, how far were you from Gwabini's room since your work gun was in there? And Zungu said, it's not like we immediately started drinking. We started by conversing. And the reason I left the firearm as I was going to relieve myself, I thought someone could pull it. So he says that he was going somewhere to urinate and he was thinking about it. He thought that maybe someone would come and pull the firearm from him. Here we
Yet he
are,
was not
police
drunk.
officer,
Yet he was not drunk.
fraternizing with people you don't trust.
No, he was not. He was. You can go with the firearm, the work firearm at the hostel. It's not the first time they do it. They are allowed to do it, but follow the right protocols. And this was for him. This is a whipping, just a free whipping. Do you understand? Which has nothing to do with the case. Just to highlight how reckless he is. With the state's firearm.
Then Ramosipele said, tell me about the illumination in the area where you were. And Zungu said, I could see everything that was happening in Gwabini's room. And Ramosipele asked, were there lights in that area? And Zungu said it was lit. When you gave him the firearm, was it in a holster or did you give him the bare firearm? And Zungu said he gave it to him bare. Ramasipili said, did Gwabini have a safe to store a firearm for you? And Zungu said, I don't have knowledge of a safe.
No, he didn't, because he doesn't have a license of owning any gun, right?
Yeah, I know the bedroom was locked. There would be no access to any person without them passing in front of us. So, yeah. He said Begu busy the other time. People were coming in and going out. Ramasipili then said, did he show you where he stored the gun for you? And Zungu said, he didn't show me, but I knew it was in the room. And he didn't have a wardrobe. So Ramasipili asked, as a police officer, you received training in firearms, safekeeping, storage, and the like. And you also knew that it is a criminal offense for somebody to store a firearm for you when it is not stored in a safe, a storeroom, or other device in terms of the Firearms Control Act, when the firearm is not in your possession. And Baloyi objected, saying that the witness should be warned. There's no obligation on him to answer any question that might incriminate him.
That's a free whipping.
And the judge said the witness is immune from self-incrimination because they have rights in terms of Section 35 of the Constitution. You have to warn him first so that he can exercise his rights to silence, or he can answer you. No
He's
problem.
not a layperson when it comes to criminal law and what. He works there.
He does, doesn't
He
he?
should know what is incriminating and what is not incriminating. In fact, he should have known when he wrote that statement of where his gun was.
Yep. Ramasipili then said, I will ask you a question which might land you in trouble with the law. And not him saying that you've got the right to remain silent. You've got the right to a lawyer on your own. Oh my God, that was so funny.
He's got a sense of humor, though. He's got a sense of humor. Ramasipili.
The judge said, please, man. The act doesn't say that. He's not arrested. And everyone burst into laughter. And Ramasipili said, you have a right not to answer a question that incriminates you. You have the right not to comment. And he said, I was just giving him the warrant officers. Then he laughed.
He just had to. After actually lashing out in all these things. Because eventually now he needs to answer as to why he's this reckless with the firearm of the state.
Well, Zungu said he will decide once Ramasipili has asked him the question. And
the judge
said
sounded
that
like he wanted him to say, I would not answer that question.
he wanted him to decide before. So he sounded like he wanted him to say, no, I will not be answering that question. He just didn't get the hint. But Zungu said...
They always miss his hints.
The question directed at me, I'd rather not answer it. And Ramasipili said, did Gwabini possess a license to store that weapon for you? And Zungu said, I don't know. I don't think he has it. So Zungu says from where he said he could see Gwabini's room and the place was well illuminated. So he's not sure whether Gwabini's room had a safe or not. And Ramasipili said, you were trained on gun safekeeping as a police officer. And he said, yes. Did you take the firearm when you went to Tops to buy alcohol?
And just to disturb you, Emin, on that process as you are busy deliberating there. For those who are saying this guy's statement sounded more true, years after years has passed. Let's forget about that. Let's look at the pattern of the state and how they call the witnesses, right?
Right.
Normally, the state would call the witnesses and the supporting witnesses. We've been seeing that with ballistic experts and whatnot. They call the supporting witnesses. So here is Gwabin.
Gwabin is not.
But we are told that Gwabin is not certain.
That in fact he's not gonna come. Because at the end he was cancelling hearsay from Gwabin.
Yes.
Completely.
Yes.
Taking it out.
And you know what? In Mapisa's sister, He said that the Kwabini is refusing to testify against his brother.
Yes.
I mean his uncle.
Yes.
Because is it accused number 5 his uncle?
Yes.
Yes, Ntuli.
Ntuli.
He's refusing.
So he's refusing.
So if he's refusing, they can subpoena him. They can force him to come, right?
Yeah.
So,
The state can
honestly,
subpoena him.
if the state is really interested in this truth, this is a author of these pictures, and in fact, it should be Kwabin standing there.
Honestly
more than
speaking,
anything. Why
that's
are they not
Kwabini
bringing
should be
that?
there.
Why are they not bringing that?
Since Gwabini is happening to be your source, and on top of Gwabini being your source is when Warrant Officer Makubo also is asking who's your source, and you didn't want to reveal your source. Why?
Do you understand?
Because Gwabini, it looks like you're making Gwabini the snitch.
Yeah.
He's your source.
And Gwabini is refusing, saying, no, I'm not going to do that to my family. I'm not going to go lie.
So
In
what
fact,
is going
there it's
on
written what? I'm not going to lie on my uncle.
So why is his recollection of the 26th of October so spot on, but everything else in between not so?
I mean, honestly, do you think that there is like a draft of this statement in KZN in your own mind
Why
while
did
we
it need to be drafted?
while we are
Let's
told
start
that
there.
the parents are not even staying there?
Everyone else's statements, they just write statements. Why did yours need to have drafts,
As in,
notes,
sometimes
and then be typed? Like, what was the reason?
sometimes you've got to question things.
And why was it done on the 23rd, or was it the 23rd or 31st of May of 2023?
2020,
And
not
the
even
worst
2020.
thing, again, I found out today, he's saying that in Centurion, their headquarters. Hey, but guys, are the headquarters of SAPS at Centurion?
Maybe they are there. They move in different ways. Maybe they are there. I would agree. I would disagree. I don't know. They would tell us. I don't know. That part I don't know.
So if this affidavit was written in Centurion at the headquarters with Brigadier Gininda and Sergeant Mohali there, how come your notes are in KZN?
Do you understand? What were they doing there?
Make sense, guys.
And you hardly visit KZN. That's your own way. It's decades of whatnot. And
He says he hardly visits KZN.
now
But yo.
you even need an escorting to go to KZN.
I'm done. Okay, I'm done. I don't believe none of these people. But then we continue to deliberate and, dissect. So Ramasipili then said, how many people were at that place, the hostel? And Zungu said, I wouldn't be able to guess, but there was a lot of people, or it was people from home. Asked what caused him to be suspicious of people coming back and all of that. You know how he spoke about how he saw accused number 1 and 2 following each other, how they entered the hostel, and he found it suspicious.
And to top it, Emil, so I came across this other person who's a policeman he's been a policeman, I think, for many years. Mm-hmm. He's like, this guy's statement is, it sounds more rehearsed. And he make an example. He says, you can, after 10 years, remember that someone was having something in their hand, and then this one changed that. You can't remember all that.
No, I don't remember what was happening on the 26th of October in my life. What I remember is receiving the news at night while I was listening to the radio because of the feeling that I got.
So if one of them...
Not the activities of that day. I don't remember. If you were to come at me and say, Emily, what were you doing on the 26th of October? I don't know.
It just doesn't make sense.
I don't remember.
You can't remember that, I woke up and slept and slept on the 26th.
I don't know what I was doing on that Sunday.
Come
If
on.
you ask me today, I don't remember. So it's going to be very difficult to recall detail for detail for detail for. So how he's able to do it, it's honestly amazing. That's why I keep saying that his testimony reminds me a lot of the testimonies of the people from the house.
Do you understand?
You know, it reminds me a lot of their testimonies because
Even
they can remember
even
detail
the
for
sound
detail.
of okay, yeah. You know that what do they call it?
The mannerisms.
The way he's talking, you know, he sounds like someone who's not working for the states. You know, he sounds like he's one of the people who were in the house.
You know where he got me when we were saying yebo?
Yebo, yes,
like
yes,
Togo.
yes.
I said
Yeah.
yebo. I'm like,
That's when I was like, okay, now he's an eyewitness or something.
So Zungu said from where he was seated, he was able to see everyone. And he had followed the people that entered the room because his gun was in there. Ramasipele asked, so in essence, you're telling me that the aim was going there to secure the firearm. And Zungu said, yes, I followed them because my gun was in there. And Ramasipele asked, you observed accused number 1 in possession of a .38 special revolver? And Zungu said yes. And accused number 3 in possession of a 9mm. And can you describe the 9mm that you observed? And Zungu said, just like I said, I have no knowledge of guns. I won't be able to explain.
No,
which
he
one
said
is
he has
which.
knowledge of guns,
He said he has knowledge of
but
guns.
he won't be able to explain in details. He knows, like, basically, I know that's a 38 revolver. I know that's a 9mm. But more details, no.
Just like I said, a 9mm and a 38 are different. They're not the same. He can't tell the make of the model of the 9mm and the 38. He says he just looked at it. So asked if he could describe the 38 that he saw. Zungu said the difference between a 9mm and a 38 is that a 38 has a wheel and a 38 has no, what is it called? He said the 38 didn't have bullets, the one that he was holding, I guess. So Ramasipuli then says, so the 9mm had bullets. And Zungu said, I didn't open the 9mm, I was interested in the 38.
You see how they are now trying to say that maybe that's why, from the knife, by the way, so the first person who was pushed did not have bullets. Is that what I'm hearing? Now, if you were to put this in according to what happened in the house. So the first person who was pushed did not have bullets. And then the second one, in fact, had bullets. So the second one who had more chances of taking action when he sees his brother being pushed. And we are not talking about these usual criminals here who go without bullets and whatnot. We are talking about people who move like that, people who do things like that, right? We talk about people who are serving life for that. Do you understand? We're not talking about chancers here who would go in someone's house without Come on, guys. Come on. You see, if they're talking about people who get inside people's house and
Gabbies?
Aye, man.
Do you know Gabbies? Especially the ones that deal in the taxi
Those
business.
people, all of them, they would never walk without a full magazine.
Loaded.
Because they
magazine.
know how they move in
And
this
they
world.
don't carry one.
You know?
Usually it's 2.
They
It's
know.
more than one.
And they're always ready to fight. I remember this other day, I knew this guy from primary school. And then, he came occasionally in my area. So what I didn't know is that now he's one of these people. I came across him in Pangin as I was walking and I saw him. So he didn't change. He's still the same guy. We used to play soccer together. And Mina was excited. Yeah. Kanyana is not able to recognize me. Do you understand?
Okay.
He was not sure who I was as I was approaching him. So he was ready. until I called his name. And then that's when he was like, okay, the name I used is the name that we used in villages. And then that's when he relaxed. Do you understand? All I'm trying to say is that it just doesn't make sense. Which these ones, they would walk out without such.
Without that instinct or that killer instinct, as they would say, being at a high vibration.
It just doesn't make sense.
They are making them look like they were
robbers, house robbers.
Amapara. That's how they're making
those ones
them
would
look.
come with a toy at some point.
Yeah, they were making them sound like that's the case when people who deal in assassinating
they know that they owe someone somewhere outside here. Someone one day will see them, and they are always ready.
So this is not. It's not coming in a way that I would have expected. But Ramasipili then said, you also observed accused number 1 and 3 handing those firearms to Gwabini. And Zungu said, yes. Why, in your opinion, are they doing that? Asking Ramasipili. And Zungu said, hence I said that is why I inquired why they had firearms. He said he never got a response from them and he just continued shouting at them. Zungu testified yesterday that he saw all of the accused in court on the day that he said he was reminded of them, especially their names. And Ramasipili wanted to know where was he from in KZN. And Zungu said, I prefer not to answer that. And as to why he didn't say, because he's saying that he knew some of the accused from back home, apparently it was for security reasons. If it is for security reasons, hi man.
Yet
guys,
you call them to say, hey, tell your people to back off.
It's not like these people don't know where your home is. If you are saying that, if they don't,
even
know,
in Tembe, apparently that's what you are saying.
If you are saying that they didn't know and it's for security reasons, how when they already know your home? You are saying that they know, right? So I don't understand that part. For me, it's making me dizzy. I don't get it.
You know what I'm getting from Muzu? It to me seems like he's someone who grew up somewhere else. Because his Zulu is not that one of that one who grew up in Tembis.
It sounds more like a township.
No, he sounds like he grew up in another village, not that one. And then maybe there were parents left there. I don't know, for whatever reason. But he didn't visit that place that much. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now maybe he's moving his parents, which was maybe planned long time ago before this whole thing. And then he moved his parents. That is my thinking.
But if he's saying he's in a new location, it shouldn't be a problem disclosing that I'm from so-and-so in Nongoma, right? I grew up in so-and-so in Nongoma, because you've already moved your family to a safe place, right? So I found that quite strange. Then Ramasipili said, I don't want to risk your security at all. The area where you said you grew up, I'll talk about accused number 1 and 2 only. Did you grow up in that area as a young man until you came to work as a police officer in Johannesburg, or you moved early on from that area to come and stay in Johannesburg? Zungu says he didn't live there. He would go there by his home, which doesn't make sense to me. So he's saying he's never lived there. So Ramasipili said, when did you leave home to come and work or study this site? What I want to find out is the gap that you last saw the persons that were your neighbors. I may have forgotten their names and I was reintroduced to them at 4 slaughters. Zungu says, I don't think it was a long time, because when I go home, I visit on holidays and festive. I see them. Those I have not seen, I have not seen. But it is not because I went to sit with them. Here's the thing. when you visit during holidays and festives, can you say you know everybody from that?
You can, Emil.
If you grew up there.
Yes.
But if he's never
Even
lived
if you
there,
didn't grow up there, villages are small. You know, the Guneikoti. So there are people of reference, obviously, from the home that where you are visiting, right? And those people, they take you to places like, let's say, for example, you play soccer. You would go meet about 22 guys that are on a pitch, or even more than 22.
okay.
That is almost everyone that is in that village. Then from there, you draw, I don't know, depending on how good your memory is, based on this guy's memory, is such that it can remember that there was a fly somewhere because he remembered the changing, the colors of hoodie, what was in accused number 5, his hand, red, what, the questions that he asked, all those things. Let's say, in a sense, you can. In township, it's a difficult situation, but in villages...
I only had a certain group of friends that I knew, and that was it.
With
I
boys,
cannot
with boys, it's different.
to know so and so from so and so from this and that, and
With boys, it is different. Like, I know that there are people who are not from my village that much, who don't stay there, but they have relatives. We know them because maybe they played soccer. So they met us there. We obviously had to know them. But he grew up in this area. Oh, yeah. If you are good in soccer, then for like that, then you are famous now. You are known. And you also know quite few people that you play with. Or if you are from township and you are fascinated by what we do, looking after cattle and whatnot, you go there, you meet a lot of boys there.
So the question now would be, what was his thing? What was his hobby?
Yes, you can ask that question.
As you were going for the holidays, what would you
What
do?
would actually
What
make
was your
you
activity?
see these people as you're going for holidays? What would combine you guys together?
Yeah, that is a very interesting question. Then accused number 1 and 2, Ramasepeli said that he wanted to take instructions during the break because they were waiting for Zungu to finalize his evidence in chief so that they can give proper instructions to Ramasepeli about this particular aspect. And then he said, but let me out the other aspects that they have given me in respect to your testimony about their identification. I can tell you what they told me in prior instructions. And remember, we got your statement 2 days ago. So they were waiting for you to finalize your evidence in chief so we can take final instructions. Accused 1 denies he is your neighbor from home. I don't know where your home is for security reasons, but he says he's from Mahlabatini. And Zungu said he's denying it, he's telling lies. When I'm at home, he is just further down my home, the home that you don't want to mention. And his father is Nomali. So, and then when he says his father is Nomali, I'm like, wasn't accused number 1 not taken to his home in the period that he was allegedly...
And we saw the father, I think.
Yeah, taken by the police in their presence, and his father was even given an opportunity to speak to Muzi. There's also allegations that monies were offered. So the police were in that whole thing. Where was Zungu? That is the question. So Ramasepeli then said he will also testify that he's not acquainted to you and he has never socialized with you.
That isn't Danzi. Danzi has never socialized with this man.
Yes.
Never seen this
Accused
man.
number 2.
He just started seeing this man in court.
In court. And Zungu said, yes, I never socialized with them in Gauteng. Ramasepeli asked for a short adjournment. The accused were raising up their hands, and Ramasepeli said that it would not be pretty with hands being raised every now
No,
and
they should
then,
go consult.
and he needed to take instructions from them. So Ramasipili, after the adjournment, withdrew a question from accused number 1, and the judge said that the question was ambiguous. So Ramasipili asked, accused number 1 says he saw you for the first time in 2019 when you were with Gwabini. Tembisa. Not that he doesn't know you, but he saw you for the first time in the company
So
of
a person
Gwabini
of
in
interest, this is what I'm
2019.
gathering. The person of interest, the person who knows these people is Gwabini. That for sure, Gwabini comes from maybe around the same area. Maybe he can be from Ulundi, or I don't know. But Gwabini knows these people.
Yeah.
He would probably chill with these people.
Yeah, he's the one who's close to these people.
Yes, and in fact is a mshana of Ntuli, which is accused number 5. That's why this man, for some weird reason, he's calling Ntuli Gwabini. He's calling Sifisokuhle Nkani Ntuli Zungu, which is Zungu. By the way, for those who do not know, Zungu is a Gwabini. So Gwabini, angazi basibiza ngani isithakazelo emini.
Okay.
Gwabini,
A clan name.
Gwabini is a clan name of the real surname is Zungu. Gwabini then is a clan. Yes. So they are calling this guy with his clan. Gwabini, but he's a Zungu.
He's a Zungu.
Yes. Yes.
And he said it's his nephew. Gwabini is the nephew
Do you understand?
to Zungu.
So Gwabini, he's the one who seems to me, he knows this guy. That's why I'm saying Gwabini is the one who should be there. Because Gwabini knows these guys, like, he knows them.
Yeah.
I don't think they would deny him. He knows them. He grew up with them. He sounds like he grew up with them.
And he's socialized.
He's socializing with them.
So they asked if he wanted to comment on that, and Zungu said, I'm going to direct this to accused number 1. Thank you, because I was shocked when he said that. Ramasipili then said, accused number 2 says he doesn't know you. He just saw you here yesterday in court. And Zungu said, if that was said by accused 3, 4, and 5, I could maybe agree.
Do you hear that? What is basically saying, I don't know these people. These two, by the way, accused 1 and 2, that was sent by Gwabini in terms of pictures. If you remember from the beginning.
Yes.
So that one is kind of feeling confident about them. You know, the very same friends that he needed to receive pictures from his nephew, if anything.
So he is from the Ntanzi family, and my grandmother is from the Ntanzi family. But that does not mean that Ntanzi knows you, sir.
Do you understand?
It doesn't mean.
Do you understand? I mean, there are many Ntanzis. Is it from that same house? Or are you talking about the surnames that are similar?
Because we've heard people that are sharing the same surname, but they don't know each other. It happens in South Africa.
Obvious. People grow apart. These surnames, they grew apart.
Yes.
And the next
happens.
generation does not know the other generation.
It happens.
It is normal. But the way he's saying it is like they are coming from the same house. The grandma comes from that house.
The desperation to want to
be known or linked to
accused number. It's kind of strange. It's very strange. And the judge is like, oh, I see. And Ramasipili said, have you met accused number 2? And where did you meet him? And Zungu said, when we are talking about a stage when we were grown up, I'd say Foslorus. So you've never seen him, Kwanongo.
The only place of common, you calling them with their nicknames. Listen to this. This person who has never met these people, and the only time he has met them, some of them, is Foslorus, but he's using more special accused number 2. He's using Mafika. Yeah,
Mafika.
he's using his nickname.
Mafika.
Mafika is a nickname.
It's a nickname.
So, using that nickname, but you have just only met this person once.
At Forsley.
Then you tell me I should
And
sit
on the
down
day of the
and
incident,
eat that
how
like a pie
ironic.
or come on, guys.
But you're saying I know them. I know them from where I grew up, of which you don't want to.
The only time you've
mention.
met them is in Fosloras, but you know them from where you grew up.
You would go home in festives and holidays, and yet the first time when you see
If
this
you don't
person
see
is
anything
when
that
you're
sounds
grown
rehearsed,
at Fosloras.
this sounds
Bye,
rehearsed.
sir. Bye.
This sounds rehearsed. The names, everything. For a person that you have met, what you know that even the come on.
Ay. Ramasipili then said, and that is on the 26th of October 2014. And he said, yebo, just like Mtogo would say, yes. So the other occasions were back home, he's saying. But what are those occasions? Because you seem to not remember them, so you only remember the Fosloras one on the 26th
Do you
of
understand?
October 2014. So Ramasipili said both accused 1 and 2 will deny that they were at Gwabini's place on the 26th of October 2014. And Zungu said, Ubuga Bejani loyo.
Uhupulga Pechan,
So
meaning
that's a lie.
you are lying.
Wow. Then accused number 1 will state that it was that in 2013 until March 2013 he was staying at Fosloras hostel at Basutuini section or the Soto hostel, but when he lost employment in March 2013 he returned home and stayed home until he returned again to stay with his uncle in Tembisa in 2015. So Zungu said, you are telling me or you are asking me? Exactly like Mtogo again. And I was like, Then Ramasipula said, I want you to comment on that. And Zungu said, I wouldn't know where he works, even that he lost his work. We have never talked about that. Do you know these people, sir? Because one would say, how can he disclose his criminal activities?
In front of a police, a well-known police.
And he can't disclose that he lost his work. Do you know these people, sir? Like, it's very weird and strange. And Ramasipili then said, accused number 1 says, since 2013, he's never been in Joburg or Gauteng until 2015. You know, with us, when you lose a job or when you lose work, you're always looking for your next, you don't know where your next opportunity is going to come from. You'll never make that a secret.
You know, Emily, Bibi, let me tell you why I say Mafiga. It's not Mefiga, Mafiga.
Mafika.
I say it's a nickname. And I say it, I stand to be corrected, obviously. But I would say
But
that
they
it's a
are all
nickname.
using
Why?
nicknames.
Yes. Why I say this is a nickname. And then he even said that sometimes also called accused number 3, Umfana Kaptelis. Why it's a nickname? There is no sane person. I've never heard this name in KZN. Mafiga means that you are new. It's like, okay, Emir, you just came in Joburg. Hey, Mafiga when? You are new.
And then it's
like Mafigizolo.
Oh, it's like Mafika.
Do you understand? You just came in Joburg. You can't say that is someone's kid's name.
There's no mother or father who will name their child.
That's why he
or
would
granny.
say. That's why he would say that and then say his full names that are in ID.
Yes.
He would say that and then say his name is also. I don't know if you heard on the stage.
Yes,
He kept on referring to them,
Yeah.
Mafiga, and then he would say, "Who is
Bongani
Bongani
Ntanzi.
Dance?" Do you understand? And that sounds like a nickname.
They are
That
nicknames,
is a nickname.
guys. Yo
You can go check them out. That's a nickname.
Those are nicknames. So Zungu said, but I saw him in Fosloras and I drank with him. I also dropped him. Ramusipili said accused number 2 says that during that time of the incident of the shooting of Senzo Meyiwa, he worked in Sibanye, still water in Carltonville. And for that weekend, he had obtained unpaid leave from the 27th of October to the 31st of October 2014. There is nothing I can say, saying Zungu. There is nothing I know about his work in Carltonville, but what I can say is that I saw him on the 26th. So, Cha, you don't know anything about the occupations of these people, and yet you insist that you know them just so you can pin them to the 26th of October 2014 and having seen them. I find it very strange, and considering allegedly, and considering that investigations were also done, at no point in time you couldn't find out whether or not these people are working or not, and where they are working. It's very strange. Then Ramasipili then said, at that, when he knocked off from his morning shift on the 25th of October, he traveled to Kwanongoma. The place is Kohlokolo. I don't know, Mr. Anonymous, help me out. Is it Kohlokolo?
Let me check. I'll check you on that one.
So meaning that he was not in Gauteng on that weekend of the 25th, 26th, and 27th of October when this incident occurred. And then Zungu said he's got lies. Accused number 1, says Ramusipili, will state that he has never attended your sister's wedding, and that allegation is false. Accused number 1 says that he met you in Tembisa with Gwabini, and you stated that you know accused number 1 because his father is normally correct. And Zungu said, I think you withdrew that question, that we don't know each other. Ramasipili said that's fair and moved on to say accused number 1 also says that the version that he gave Gwabini a 38 special revolver firearm is false. And Zungu said perhaps it's a way of protecting himself, but he knows the truth.
Yeah,
and
so just to give those people who are saying it's his name a bit of what I mean when I say this. This guy, he says his real name is, after saying that Mafiga, he says his real name is Bongani Ntuli. So when he's saying our homeboys will be happy, he names them by nickname and the real names. And then he says Mafiga, whose real name is Bongani Ntuli.
He did that.
Who is my cousin, and he's also related to Gwabini. Look at how the statement is drafted. Look at how the statement is drafted. If you are related, if you are slash father, which is not, there's no such thing in English, obviously, but your brother's kid has your surname.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So why would you say, write a statement like this? You would say, his real name is Bongani Ntuli, who's my cousin, and he's also related to Gwabini. Why would you not say, who's our cousin? Do you understand?
Very strange.
Our cousin, because we're family, right?
Yes, you are.
Me and my
Gwabini's
brother, me and my brother's kid.
Blood, very close relative.
Yes, we are cousins. Cousin. You can say and separate
Who's
Gwabini to you,
cousin?
and you say he's related to me, but he's also related to.
I get you.
To Gwabini. That doesn't make sense. Just a normal person sitting down, looking and thinking at this. I don't know if you guys gave yourself time to look at that or to listen to that statement. Continue, Amen.
Then Ramasipili said, accused number 2 also states that is a falsehood that you saw him at Gwabini changing from a black hoodie to a gray hoodie. And Zungu said, I saw him. He knows that as well. And Ramasipili said, accused number 1 and 2 deny any involvement in the killing of the deceased Senzo Meyiwa. And Zungu said, like I said, I never saw them killing him. I never ever wanted to tell lies saying that I saw them killing him. The judge was nodding in agreement with what the witness was saying, and Ramasipili said evidence led here is that 2 suspects entered the Khumalo household. Further, that the first suspect was shorter, dark-skinned, big eyes, and dreadlocks, and whose dreadlocks extended to this level, just below the neck. Like here, even the sketch, guys, the dreadlocks are here. And that suspect was in possession of a firearm. The second suspect was said to be taller than the first one, and complexion was described as not too dark and not too light. He was wearing a hoodie, and he was armed with a sharp object resembling a knife. Furthermore, that the second suspect had a beard that was trimmed and was set on an O shape, and he had on another piece of a beard below the lip or the cleft of the lip. So do you want to comment on that? And Zungu said, I wouldn't comment about it. I was not at the Khumalos. Ramasipili said, you also testified that you partook in alcohol on that night, and he said, yes, yebo. And at that, you were drinking Jameson whiskey and tonic dashed with ice. And he said, yes. How many glasses of whiskey and tonic did you have that night? And the judge said, tots or glasses.
Let the questions be questions for those people. Why do you need to interfere?
I was annoyed.
You know, you'll seek clarity if you are not clarified.
I was annoyed.
He just throws people off this judge on purpose. And he's saying...
People who drink whiskey talk about tots. Glasses are for cool drink. And Ramasipili said, I've seen people dash it with Coke and fill it up in a glass. So I wouldn't know. And Ramasipili said, what quantity did you drink? And Zungu said, we didn't measure. We would just drink. We were drinking from a glass. Then the alcohol finished and a necessity arose for you to go and buy again, asking Ramasipili. And Zungu said, I think when they went to buy, they were not buying.
I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Many people.
I don't know. Even after saying Tembani, that Mafiga, the insizwa lemfo bekita ngoma. This man was a dancer. He has igama lobumsizwa. Do you understand that? Yes. That's why they are saying Mafiga, who his real name is Bongani Ntuli. Do you understand?
Happy sometimes it happens that we don't hear things the same way.
The statement is you can go back and rewind on that statement. Or
you can rewind on the statement. You can
so
hear
that when you come here,
a nickname and their full names. That was not done on purpose. That was done because it's not the names on their IDs.
And the very same reason why they called adjourned today, if people were listening. Because there was a confusion of those names.
Yes. Yes.
They have nickname. Ikitangoma Lilian. You don't just say, hey, Bongani, Ikitangoma. This is not a soccer. In fact, even in soccer, you always have a name.
Yeah, they give you a name in soccer as well. People who play soccer have got names, nicknames. So, yeah, Ramasipili then said Jameson came with Makosonke. It never ran out. There was no need to go and buy another one. And Zungu said, I would not be in a position to say when it ran out. We went to buy. It was not to say that if I left with that person, then that person would have went to go buy it for me. Ramasipili then said, how sober were you? And Zungu said, seeing that I saw them when they came back, I drove with them, I dropped them. I think I was still sober. Drinking and driving, son, allegedly. Then Ramasipili then said, you spoke about talking about this with Warrant Officer Makubo. You said after doing your own investigation, you came to the conclusion that the accused before court are somehow involved in this case. And Zungu said, I wish to understand when you say so. It is my investigation or the state's investigation. Ramasipili said, I need you to clarify. And Zungu confirmed that Colonel Gininda was referred to him by the general.
Do you remember that this guy said yesterday he did his more small investigation?
He did.
And this question was referring
in his
to that.
evidence in chief, he did say that he did his own investigation. So today he done a U-turn, which is why we are telling you guys, that there are inconsistencies.
But you'll never hear them. Once you've
made up your mind.
No, it's not about even making up your mind. The problem is that other people, it's like these newspapers, how they get people.
Oh, like
other people, they take the highlights.
Or the highlight.
And then that becomes the order of the day. They come and argue with that highlight.
It happened with the Kelly Kumalo linking of the phone call situation.
And for those who are saying that Kelly Kumalo has a family in Gwanongoma, I'm not sure. Last time I checked, they originate from Engutu. That's the last time I checked. I've never heard of Nongoma. Nongoma and Ngutu, they are far from each other. In fact, it's 3 towns, if I'm not mistaken, that separates them.
With her grandmother, Yenano's auntie. And then they relocated when they were older back to Juwan's, back to live with their mama.
Now I should be saying like that, Judge. I listen.
Rub it in.
No. There's no need. Yeah, last time I heard is that they're from, unless they've moved.
No, they're from Ngutu. They're from Ngutu, guys. I know we all want Kelly. Then Zungu confirmed that Colonel Gininda was referred to him by the general when Makubo and General Lishabani and General Sibia were also there. So General Lishabani explained to Warrant Officer Makubo about the case and what was happening. And then Zungu said that when he told Warrant Officer Makubo about what he knew, Makubo dismissed the information as not true. Ramasipili asked which information, and Zungu said that accused 5 was there because at that time he had been arrested by him. Guys, so ubone upi accused number 5? Ngoma Warrant Officer Makubo uthi yena bekambophile. He was arrested. So which accused number 5 did he see on that night? Now this is where now I'm like,
you see, guys, let me just put this thing like this. See, anyone who's gonna come with a story of an intruder that day, as Fiso said, I would like to believe.
And here's the tricky part, because some people may not know. Accused number 5 was arrested by Warrant Officer Makubo's investigation.
Why would you defend someone that you have put in jail for so many years, and now you come and say that theory does not make sense? Why would you do that, Emil?
And allegedly, accused number 5 is now serving 128 years for those hit jobs that he done did, allegedly. So,
why would you protect that?
Why would he want to?
If indeed this is a nice flowing case and all that, why would Baloyi jump around when they say Warrant Officer Makubo must come and testify because he's why would he say no, it's fine. You can leave the hearsays. You can leave the hearsay. Focus on other stuff now. I mean,
unless if something happened and he was let out. Unless maybe they're trying to tell us something.
Do you understand? And for days, since we've started following this case, Makubo and Buthelezi is under the bus.
Yeah, pretty much.
Every witness,
Underneath.
people in the house, yay! When you talk about those people, Buthelezi. Hey,
Now
they
the
are-
cops are coming. Makubo.
Makubo. Do you understand? I mean, honestly, guys. I mean, we can't make this thing up, man. We are following this case with you.
We're following the same case, right?
Hey.
The same case.
It's not like the J. What is it called? This JMPD
No.
is the one that investigated the other case, and then we are talking about cases that were investigated by SAPS.
SAPS.
And there was a caller here who said these people always have each other's back. But
Yeah,
now when
but
it comes to these two,
Buthelezi and Warrant Officer Makubo, no. They are deep underneath the bus. They are underneath everyone from the house is literally rolling.
they didn't want to
over
believe the story.
Buthelezi.
They didn't take the statement. So they're not taking off the statement. If it could happen, they could even date it back to 2014 and say, yeah, in 2014 I did try to talk to Warrant Officer Makubo, but it couldn't happen.
So Ramasipele said, what was the reason for Makubo to dismiss that information outright? What did he say to you? And what about the others? And Zungu said, I think he was referring to the suspect who had been arrested by him, who is accused number 5.
Do you understand?
Then Ramasipele referred to Zungu's statement in May 2023, which was taken by Brigadier Gininda. And there is a handwritten one and a typed one. Ramasipele was saying, with regards to the handwritten one, Ramasipele said that he knew the handwriting very well. And I was like, okay. So there was a mention of State versus Mafaladiso, where the judge recommended that he reads the entire statement instead of just one paragraph, because Ramasipele had intended on just quoting one paragraph from the statement, but the judge was like, no, read it into the record.
What a nice time waster. Sometimes you allow others.
So Zungu said that he recognized the statement and that it was written at number 9 Beatrix Avenue, Raslu, in Centurion, written in the company of Brigadier Gininda. He was with a colleague, Sergeant Mohali. They used isiZulu. And he says that the statement, he did write it himself. He hand wrote it and it was not typed. So Ramasipili read the statement that Zungu made about the events of 26th of October 2014 and how he had found himself at the hostel in Vosloorus after he had been invited.
So
by
that I
his
don't
nephew,
disturb you, Emily.
Wabeni Sifiso Zungu.
Unless I'm going to disturb you because they are not liking. So can you guys press the like button so that the flow of this statement is read on record without any disturbance? Can you press that like button and subscribe and do everything that you need to do? Because I see 400 here. We have 904 people watching.
It's only 400 likes.
Do you understand? So you don't need to
there's
sweat
like
that
500 monitors
Yeah, you
and
can.
researchers.
You can just put it. You can just read the statement halfway and stop.
How? The awkward moment of silence. Do you want that?
Not
guys?
liking is crime, as I said.
Sibhekane emehlweni.
Not liking
Ngithule
is crime, guys. Not liking is crime because, I mean, we work hard for you. We don't want to say that. I don't. But come on, guys. Come on. Look at you. You don't even. You wait for this time to come so that we can deliberate and give it to you in a short space of time. And if you were liking, it would be even shorter because we won't need to keep on reminding you to like.
Please like the video.
It's not
guys.
expensive.
It doesn't cost a thing, a cent. No. You just put your finger there on the thumbs up and you're like, yabo. So that we can move. We can go on. We can create.
Not even a 700 out of 900. We're on 400.
We're still on 400.
I'm telling you.
Guys.
Okay, at least I see 500 now.
Okay, now I can read the statement. So
Yeah.
keep them coming. Otherwise, you're going to stop again. Okay. This is on my footy. All right, so on Sunday 2014, 10/26 at 7:30, I received a call from my nephew Gwabeni, whose real name is Zungu, asking me to come to visit him at Vosloorus Basotho Hostel, where he was residing. And he told me that our homeboys would be coming to visit as well. Moses Bia, who's related to Gwabeni.
Do you hear that? Did it sound correct?
Moses Bia, who's related to Gwabeni, your nephew.
It didn't sound right.
It doesn't sound right. And Nkani Ntuli Mafiga / Bongani, also known as Bongani Ntanzi,
Do you understand? My
who
figure.
is my cousin, who is also related to Gwabeni and Mthokozisi Mapisa. Nkani, whose real name is Sifisokuhle Ntuli. So who's saying that it's not nicknames? Guys, get with the program. Gibeli basi zokushia. Okay?
Uzayikhomba. Let's go.
And others who are from Opisweni Nongoma, KwaZulu Natal. He said they will be excited to see me. I told him that I will be starting at my workplace in Tembisa police station. Thereafter, I'll come through. I received a call from him again at about 10 a.m. He asked me to pick up my nephew Makosonke in Johannesburg. He also sent me Makosonke's cell number, which are so and so and so. So this is another one of your nephew, and you didn't have his number at the time. Bombastic side eye.
You didn't know these people.
So this is also your nephew. He said yesterday in his evidence in chief that Makosonke was his
The
nephew.
only common factor here is Gwabini, your nephew.
And he said Makosonke was also his nephew, but he didn't have his number.
And who has the number? Gwabini.
Gwabini. So he says, which were at about 1 p.m., he left the police station and went to pick up Makosonke in Johannesburg. On a Sunday, he left at 1 p.m. He says, I was communicating with him using my cell phone number until I picked up at Carlton Center. Then we proceeded to Vosloorus. Upon our arrival, we found Gwabini and other boys from Nomgoma who I know because we all grew up from the same area. Did you know? However, some of them I have not seen for decades.
All of them.
Gwabini did the introduction as we were all grown up and we could not recognize each other. He introduced Carlos, who is known to me as Gadla. He's
The dreads
known
guy.
to him as Gadla. Gadla is his nickname. Whose real name is Mthobisi Mncube, and also referred to him as Butelezi Boy. Nkani, who's known as Sifisokuhle Nkani Ntuli, who's also known as Bongani Ntanzi. Mthokoziseni Mapisa doesn't have a nickname.
Guys,
This is accused number
you
4.
don't know some of these people. We've only met them at Vosloorus. That's my point. You know all their nicknames. That's like grade R mistakes, man. You can't have drafted a statement like that, man. You know, you couldn't. You know, even if they say you wanted to come and convince us, you know, don't do that. Don't draft their nicknames because you don't know them. You know, for the ones that you claim to have seen maybe once or twice, 3 times, then you can use that. But all of them, their nicknames, and you are even saying yourself, accused number 4 and 5, né? You would agree if they said they didn't know you.
Yeah.
And you have their nicknames too down there.
And you have their nicknames.
Come on.
For 9 years, you've had them here. You've had them in
Without knowing them.
So he says, I did not see an introduction. I did not need an introduction on Muzi Aukalelwa Sbiya. That's accused number 1. And Carlos and Sinako Sbiya, because I'm used to them. And we see each other more often. We all ate and drank alcohol. You see them more often.
You all ate and drank alcohol that same day. So it's not something that happens. Get with the program. It does not happen all the time, but it sounded like it happens all the time. Now and then, some weekend. No. We all eat and drank alcohol off Phosphorus, and it ends there.
It ends there. So he says, I was specifically drinking Jameson whiskey. Others were also sharing the same bottle with me, and others were drinking other kinds of alcohol drinks. We were dancing and singing. I was mixing the whiskey and Indian tonic water, as well as ice cubes without counting the ice blocks. I did not order any other alcohol or consume any other different one. I also recall that Muzi's father was around as well.
In a nutshell, you were not that drunk when I'm fit. Yeah. That's basically, you could have
like
just
the
put
people
it
from the house.
Yeah, you could have just said I was not drunk because I was drinking Jameson.
Like the people from the house.
But you went to buy other stuff.
Yeah.
God knows what.
And Jameson is not like a can of guarana. That's all I'm saying. So he says, I also recall that Muzi's father was around as well, and his names are normally Sbiya. So he's also implicating Ubabaka Muzi on the 26th.
No, you know what is used? It's not implicating him.
What is happening?
It's a reference. It's like, okay, I know these people, so I had to call the father's name. By the way, the father who's on television doing interviews about his son. So anyone would know that.
Yes.
More so someone who made a statement on 2023 in May.
Yeah, he would know
These interviews have been on TV for a
very long time.
Yes.
So at about 3 p.m., Sinako Sbiya approached me and told me that Nkani Sifisokuhle Nkani is stating that I removed my vehicle because he wanted to go out, as I had parked behind his vehicle and blocked his exit. I was driving a state unmarked VW Polo. So this is interesting. So you were also driving a Polo, child.
And what is more interesting is that he was driving a state car that they can pull the records for.
The records for.
If they want to solidify their case.
Yes.
On that day.
So he was also driving a Polo, guys. And it was unmarked, a state unmarked one. It did not
If they
say,
just want to close this case, they just pull those records.
And Nkani was driving a silver grey hatchback Volkswagen Polo. I then went outside and removed the vehicle out of his way. He left, but I later came back. I then took my bag out of my vehicle as it contained my firearm. So now...
Listen to that.
Now
the bag
firearm
contained the firearm.
The bag contained the firearm.
But the firearm was with him.
But the firearm was with him because he...
Let's continue.
Yeah, and he says, I also put the vehicle key inside the bag. I gave the bag to Gwabini. But didn't he say he gave it back to when under Ramasipili's? Hey guys, he locked my bag inside his bedroom as well as Makosonke's bag. We continued to sit together and have a good time. And other males and females joined in. People are just going in and out, including the above mentioned guys. So I also at some point went out to the shops to buy some alcohol drinks with a certain lady and came back into Gwabini's house. Around 9 p.m. on the very same day, I noticed Muzisbia Mafika, Sandiso Ntanzi, Nkani, Sifisokuhle Ntuli walking after each other to Gwabini's bedroom coming from outside. I stood up and I followed them, and as I was suspicious of the manner in which they entered the house, I could see that there was something wrong. I found Gwabini in the bedroom. As I was approaching the bedroom, I could hear Gwabini saying, "There comes Babu Mncane," and somebody switched off the lights. I saw. Oh, that's why the judge was emphasizing on somebody switched off.
You see what happens?
Statement.
They read statements and they take those statements as the gospel truth. Now I understand why people are being corrected in court.
He reads the statement and binds the witnesses to the statement. For what reason, I don't know.
They cannot change.
I don't understand that. Does it
because
make his
yesterday
judging
when he was testifying, he first said it like the light went off.
Yes.
He even had to explain what was the issue with the light. And then the court that remembers, that listens. No, the court listens. This one listens. But now we know that that's how they listen. They just prepare by reading the statement. And you see the problem with him. He prepares for this court, and which is good.
Yeah.
He reads the statement of a person who's going to. He reads the statement of someone who's going to come. Okay, that is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. You read it so that you can pick the contradictions, and that makes sense and make your job easier on your notes.
Exactly.
But now, if you're gonna have an amnesia there and start thinking that what you read is what you had, we are going to have a problem.
We do.
Because we don't have those statements and we listen to what these people say.
Yes.
When you correct from a point of view of reading, then hearing.
Which is what's
and your job
showing.
Is to read and hear and pick up the contradictions and pick up if someone is lying. That's your job.
Exactly. Because the statement says, and somebody switched off the lights. So I saw Muzi giving Kwabeni a .38 special firearm and Nkani giving Kwabeni a 9mm firearm. Okay. Muzi gave a .38 special. Nkani gave a 9mm firearm.
Now that is Nkani is Sifisokuhle, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, accused number 5.
That is where now contradictions are happening. It's no longer accused number 2 and 3. It is accused number 5 and 1, which prompted this delay that is happening today, if you didn't understand it. Because how do you, as a defense of accused number 2, defend accused number 2 who's portrayed as accused number 5 at some point when it suits the narrative? Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot. It does not make sense.
What a mess.
How are you going to defend your client without failing them if at some point you feel like you're defending accused number 5, which Mshololo is supposed to defend?
It's in his statement, guys. The one he wrote on the 23rd of May, 2023. Right? It's in there. Nkani is the one giving a 9mm.
See this nickname thing now? It's biting back.
He says, I asked them why they were having firearms in their hands and asked them where they were coming from. No one responded. I then took the .38 special from Gwabini's hand and looked at it. I asked Gwabini if it was not the same firearm which he had threw away in the river after shooting Snako.
We don't destroy these firearms these days. We throw them in the river. Pooh! And then we tell the police, hey, babomncane, yazi ngicela nje ukuphosa isibhamu engidubule ngase umuntu laphana efuleni, yazwa.
Hi guys, this man is a police officer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Lalela njani? Ngiyakutshela ukuze uzokwazi ukuthi wazi. Lesibhamu lesiya engidubule ngaso. Sengisiphosela lapha emfuleni.
Hi guys, we are living in a drama series. What is this? He's so comfortable around umalume wakhe who's a cop, ubaba mncane who's a cop. He's like, that gun, I threw it in the river after I deleted someone.
Or after I shot someone.
Allegedly.
But something was shot.
And life just goes on in South Africa. Life just, wow. He said it was not the same firearm, but the firearm belonged to Nkani. I then gave him back the firearm. So now this firearm belongs to Nkani as well. Accused number 5.
You see what makes it difficult for the defense to defend this?
It is.
Where if you had the statement,
nicknames.
if you had the statement, Emil, the statement was so good and it was flowing because you know what you want to hear, what the statement is doing to the accused.
It was flowing.
Look at these things. You miss them. Obviously, you're gonna miss them. Obviously, you're gonna miss them because you're not checking the nicknames and whatnot.
He said, I asked that Gwabeni give me my firearm. He reached for my bag and gave it to me. I took it and checked it, removed the magazine, and counted my bullets, and they were all still there as I left them.
This is him cleaning up that he left the gun unattended. He had to count the bullets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What if they replace them, say?
Yeah, it says I was checking if they did not take my firearm, and I use it somewhere. And I also smelled it, but I could not pick up anything. I was also concerned if they took my firearm and used it to kill people. Because I had knowledge.
I think, Sizwe,
hitmen.
I think, Sizwe, what happened here is, you know, when your Mngane ask for things, I mean, you easily give them. I mean, this is about Mngane that you tell that you've just thrown a gun in the river. You know, they're asking for things, you give them. But I don't think, per se, Gwabeni is involved in this. And why I'm saying this is Gwabeni was going to be a person who's going to make the story concrete by saying solid. I was the host.
He was more
and I remember we were there. But Gwabeni Agazingeni is not on the list of people who are going to come and testify. What does that tell you?
So he says that he had knowledge. Okay? He had knowledge. He said, I was concerned if they took my firearm and he used it to kill people because I had knowledge that they are Nkabis, hitmen. He knew it.
Including Mshan.
And he socialized.
Nephew.
And drank and became merry and danced and cheered in the presence of such people. An officer of the law. He says, I was shouting and I told them that if they had done something, it shall be revealed one day.
Imagine you're calling police in your house and then they say, yeah.
One day it shall be
revealed.
One day it
shall be revealed.
Right now, I'm seeing allegations of people that are like, maybe he was also involved in this thing, allegedly. He's not looking good, hey? Then he's saying, oh, like, he said, I put my firearm on my body. Mafika walked out of the bedroom. Mthokozisi said, Mapisa and Carlos Mtobisi Ngube walked into the bedroom and sat on the bed. Gwabeni asked me to give them space as he wanted to discuss something with these guys. That is Carlos, Mapisa, Muzi, and Nkani. I then took my bag and walked out and sat at the lounge, and then I noticed Mafika changing a black hoodie top that he was wearing with a grey hoodie top. I asked him to give me one hoodie, as it seems he has many hoodie tops. Mafika walked back to Gwabeni's bedroom to join the others. I did not follow him or heard what they discussed. After their meeting, I do recall Muzi approached me and asked for a lift. After a few minutes, Gwabeni asked for a lift for Muzi, and I asked where Muzi was staying, and he said just outside the hostel. Muzi drew everyone's attention and asked if we heard that Senzo Meyiwa had died. He was asking loudly as if he was making an announcement. He looked very proud and excited about the announcement. I commented that he was talking nonsense and that he was saying that was not true, as one had no knowledge of such. There was no media announcement on this, so I did not believe him. No mention of the social media checking, like he said he's in evidence in chief. It's not in the statement where he says that he checked social media to confirm whether the news were true or not. Then Gwabini told him that Makosonke will be sleeping at his girlfriend's place. He asked Nkani about his car keys when he noticed that they were missing. Ramasipele asked to drink water, and it was kind of a tricky situation. Why did he need to ask for permission to drink? I don't understand this court thing. It's like a classroom for grade 1 or something. What is happening? Mthokozisi then said Mapisa is the one who gave him the vehicle keys back. He still doesn't know how his car keys left his bag. And on Tuesday, 28th of October, he saw the article with the sketches fitting Tanzi and Ngube. He realized that the suspect that was wrongfully arrested could not be the right one, as he did not see him mingling with Carlos Mapisa and Mthokozisi on the 26th of October 2014. Now he's implying to Zamokuhle Mpata's arrest, right? He's saying that because he did not see them with Mapisa and everyone else, that means he didn't do it. But then, what is going on? The sketches look nothing like these people you're talking about.
This is a guy who read information like we're reading now. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I don't care. I know people would... guys, come on. It just doesn't make sense which way now you would even bring the information of who was hired for this case and whatnot. This is something you read on the newspapers.
Exactly.
Do you understand? And obviously your statement is going to be a bit polished if you are listening from that point of view. A person who wrote a statement 2023. You can Google these things. You'll find them on Google.
And to mention that he's the one, what troubled me is that he's the one who initiated contact with General Lishabani. He said he got his cell phone numbers, who was then the head of detectives in Gauteng. He got hold of his cell phone numbers. He informed him that he had information about the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. He said they should meet at Tembisa police station. He says General arrived driving a brown Mercedes-Benz SUV. After 3 weeks, he called him to say the information he gave him was positive, that he wanted the detectives to follow it up. He said he discovered something on the suspect that is in Rustenburg. He informed Minister Begicele and the other General Commissioner.
This guy is bringing big guns. This guy is bringing.
He told him that one of the suspects stayed around Tembisa and he was dealing in illegal substances. Guys, when you call in, please don't say the D word. Just a warning in advance. YouTube doesn't like that word.
Yes.
So say illegal substances. Please don't forget. Okay?
If you do, we're shutting down.
We cut the call. Just a heads up to see if you really listen. Okay? So now this is a new one.
I don't trust some of this audience that we have. Hey, they're gonna come with a T-word. Maybe we don't have calls today.
No, guys, please, you come with the D word, use illegal substances, or kuluma in our home language. Okay? This one, I will let it slide. Idagami, so just say that. Don't use the D word, please. We are working too hard for you to come.
These are the people who are missing the some of the things there and saying, yeah, this guy is polished.
He sounded very polished, honey, in my opinion.
If you revise for a test and you get a memo, you are going to sound polished. You see, the problem is you end up making the mistake of a memo. I remember this other friend of mine who copied
and
the
that's how they get
thing.
You, them university professors and lecturers. That's how they get that you guys copy.
No, there is always a mistake that is done on a memo.
Yes.
And then that mistake, you copy until you copy that mistake.
Yes.
And then you go submit.
They're going to see that you guys copy.
And I remember that teacher of English, it was an English paper. I was like, so Nyambos, you make mistakes that were made on a memo. Hey, you must be smart. So what we are doing here, we are correcting the mistakes that are made on a memo.
Okay. So yeah, this was like new information. It was very bombastic. What? So you're saying accused number 1 was dealing in illegal substances? What? Were you investigating him? After a few weeks,
You know what?
he called
It's
again.
like what is happening is like they were waiting for those. It's like, okay, we're looking for this profile. This profile, if you find this profile,
Right.
you know,
It's sounding like that.
let's find anything. You know that thing. Let's find anything about them. Just anything.
Just to.
Anything.
It's looking like that because I'm like, the one that we know of is the one of the girlfriend, right? The alleged, they're saying that he shot the girlfriend.
Girlfriend, yes.
Now this illegal substance introduction, I'm like, what?
Do you understand? It's like just anything. If you can't, you can always go with ammunition and then claim to have found it somewhere there under the bed.
Without him being there.
You know?
Search.
And then just take that guy in.
Yeah, after a few weeks, he called again asking about the whereabouts of Muzi Sibia and his pictures. He gave him all the information of Muzi and Tanzi and how they could be found. He told him that they managed to arrest Muzi for dealing in illegal substances, and they questioned him about the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. He told him that Muzi disputed the info but implicated his uncle, who is a well-known to the general. This uncle is known as Sifisokuhle Nkani Ntuli. He was, I don't know what was happening here. I was getting dizzy, Mr. Anonymous. Kutiwa, he was killed a few years ago, and he makes a resurrection. The general was no longer the head of detectives in Gauteng, but was the cluster commander in Tembisa. A few weeks later, he was arrested for illegal substances related charges. And then I was then phoned by Sifisokuhle Nkani Ntuli after the release from the police custody. Buhle said he needed to urgently see me. We then met at the Tembisa Plaza. He later informed me that he had arrived, but I told him that I am from Tembisa police station. He arrived in a brown polo sedan at the police station with Mafika, Bongani Ntanzi, and 4 unknown men. He asked I help him with 2 illegal firearms. I was shocked with his request, as I have never done such activity with him. Jabanala.
Have you done it with someone else?
With him.
Why do you need to specify with him?
Why are you saying that you were shocked with his request, as you have never done such activity with him? Have you done it with anyone else before? Just asking. And then he says, I then suspected that they came to kill me with regard to the info I gave to General Leshabani about the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. I know that Sifisokuhle Nkani Ntuli was a well-known taxi-killing hitman, Nkabi. So at this point, I was very confused. But in 2019, he says, my sister was getting married in Nongoma. Muzi told me about his arrest of dealing in illegal substances.
Yes.
And did not deny it.
Yes. You see what that statement, you see the leading of statement, it can be very confusing. It sounds more proper, the direction, going to the right direction. But when you read the whole statement, the things that are not said there.
That's very confusing, guys. For those who it's making sense to them, maybe you can clarify that part. Especially the one where there's Buhle mentioned, Buhle Ntanzi or whatever. I'm like, what is happening here?
They're not going to fire him. He's getting promotion.
After this case, don't worry. He might get, Asas. He might get a rank boost.
Getting a star.
Kwazibani. So he did not deny it, but said it was a sensitive matter and complex matter with regards to him being involved in the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. And he suggested that we speak about it in a different venue, and he was not the only one involved. Gwabini joined them. He says Gwabini was talking about
This guy
him
has something.
and his
People are
involvement
open
in the
to him.
killing of Senzo.
Like the cousin would be like, "Hey man, look, I'm throwing a gun that I've just." now, this guy is telling them, "No man, I was not alone. Just don't talk about this thing here."
So Zungu, in a meeting between him and General Sibiya, General Leshabani, Warrant Officer Makubo, rejected his information and wanted the source of the information. Zungu said the statement says he later met Colonel Buthelezi and Warrant Officer Makubo at McDonald's in Captain Park, where he was asked if he was related to Kelly Khumalo. Zungu, in that meeting with Buthelezi and Makubo, he was accused of trying to shift the blame from the people who were in the house when Senzo Meyiwa was killed and pin the crime on the people he was mentioning. Were they far off? That's for you guys to decide. Were they far off? Were these outrageous claims? So councils were consulting after the long adjournment, consulting with their clients as to whether they would like Zungu's statement to be interpreted. So council said that the clients have confirmed that they understand the contents of the statement, and the accused have also personally confirmed. But Ramusipili said you rejected your information because he had arrested accused number 5, and Zungu said yes. Ramusipili was taking the witness through a picture depicting 3 men, 2 leaning against the red car drinking from cans, and a man on the other side wearing a cap facing down. He said that in his evidence in chief, he didn't say the man in the cap was accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi. Then Ramusipili concluded his cross-examination. Mnisi said that he was uncomfortable with starting with the cross-examination without the original handwritten statement of the witness. Zungu said that during cross-examination by Ramusipili, he had written down the original statement. And Mnisi said, we were under the impression that this was the original statement. But now, as we are listening, it changes the whole complexion. Baloyi then said, my lord, we were told that there were notes that were taken, and this statement was then written from those notes. Baloyi kanti, ninza njani na?
He opened a can of worm.
Zungu says that there are some mistakes in the typed statement with regard to how
I knew the typed statement is going to have some mistakes, But the handwritten one, unless, of course, obvious, of course. We start by typing and then we go back to writing. It's possible also.
What if right now, as we are speaking, notes are being written? Allegedly.
Bruh.
Anything is possible.
The small book. What is that? That notebook for the police to take the notes to remind themselves.
Pocket book.
It grew legs and it ran out of the storeroom. What more do you expect? Obvious.
What if these 2 days will be spent with notes being written?
I hope they have machines to detect when this thing was written.
I doubt we have that. I doubt there's such a thing in the courts to test. When did you write this thing?
Obvious. You would find that even that handwriting is going to be different to the handwriting that wrote this one.
You know when Ramusipili said, I know this handwriting.
Yes. Where do you know it, Ramsey? Because this guy, unless obviously this guy can meet anyone anytime. And
then he said he wrote it himself. He said he wrote it himself. So, for instance, in one paragraph, said Mnisi, accused number 3's name is supposed to have been there. And instead, there's accused the number 5's name. Mnisi questioned why the witness didn't mention it right there and then and point out the mistakes immediately, and why he didn't point out the mistakes when Ramosipili read the statement to him. And the judge said, Mr. Baloyi, can we get the notes? And Baloyi said, my lord, there's no need. The witness is explaining.
You know when Baloyi is found wandering? It's a common cause.
It's a common cause.
My lord, we see no need to pursue this. My lord, I think it is a waste of time to actually pursue such. Obviously, my learned colleagues can file for that to happen according to section 280.
Zungu then said only the names were placed incorrectly. The case is being postponed to allow the witnesses to go home, the witness to go home and fetch his notes in KZN. He said that the notes are in KZN, child. So they are in KZN where he hardly goes and stays. The notes are there, where he allegedly moved his parents or whoever.
Wait, what happens when he goes at home and says, the notes are not there, these people who are working in my house, I don't know where they put them.
And when the judge was
after wasting a lot of taxpayers' man.
Hey, traveling with security.
This is your money.
The judge insisted that he's not a witness who is safe, so he needed to travel with security, and he needed to be guarded, and he needed to either be then KZN fetching the notes or the safe house.
Exactly for that reason,
He was
my lord.
emphasizing his safety.
We have buffed up the security, my lord. Exactly for that reason. And then after that, he comes back with a paper that has some old ink and rained on, and it doesn't have proper view.
And then
and then what after
we
that?
hope this witness will still be alive come Monday. And Nisi was like, my lord, but the car accidents can happen, you know. And he's like, no, but yes, the car accidents, it can also happen that it's also a murder. And
the judge was like, sounding like blaming Nisi for that. And I understand why Nisi is not looking comfortable in that court. Because he knows where to press. No, I didn't have a problem with adjournment. I got what I wanted. For the day I had something to tell my people here. So the court was done, and after reading that whole statement of 21 paragraphs, what more do you want?
No, guys, you can believe what was said at your own peril.
Take it when I'm Mvula. We are giving you this time. This man must travel to KZN and be reminded where is Ntanzi's house at, so that he can also ask. I don't know how he's going to ask because he's going with escorts.
He has the whole weekend. He has the whole weekend to prepare. Okay? So
I don't think he's even going to go to KZN. That's me. That's me. I'm thinking.
Well, another thing is that he said Carlos, which is accused number 3, had dreadlocks and a gold tooth. And he says that the sketches are the same, according to him. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And with relation to the warrant officer Makubo's statement that he told him that he doesn't believe him because he's the one who arrested accused number 5, he also said that warrant officer Makubo said no. He wanted Brigadier Gininda to hit a brick wall in the investigation. Did you hear that?
What?
He said that in his statement. That's what he wrote in his statement.
He said he wanted...
He said that Warrant Officer Makubo said that he shouldn't tell Brigadier Gininda because he wanted Brigadier Gininda to hit a brick wall in the investigation.
And then after that, Warrant Officer Makubo goes to jail.
To a case.
To a case.
Wasn't it a case?
Yeah.
Why would he say this?
Obstruction of what? Justice. You
That
see
he
how
won,
this case is. We are told that 375 is going to arrest one of the cops there. And now this case 636 now is mimicking, is the replica of what an inverse is. An inverse, yeah. You'll understand if I say that. I'm not gonna say more. An inverse of what could happen on 375. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The accused on 375 are the witnesses. I mean, on 636 are the witnesses. On 375 are the accused. So everything happening in 636 now, up until the statement, is an inverse.
Hi, ziyalila.
Ziyakhala.
Yeah, and then he also said that his father could confirm that he actually knows accused 1 to 5. I don't know how his father...
No, we don't need your family. No, Kwabin. Whoa. We don't need your family. It's okay.
Zungu.
Keep your...
Kwabin Zungu.
Yeah, Kwabin is Zungu, Pel.
Oh.
That's what I'm trying to correct me. You are
name.
making... you are making the same mistake. No. Bo Zungu, angazi ngithemba umuntu akazungu. Ay. I'm sorry if there's Kwabin is here. But
Bakona.
There was one man in KZN where I'm from who decided to go and stay at the girlfriend's place.
Yeah.
So from there, I never trusted Zungus.
And another interesting thing is that the judge wants the defense counsel to prepare arguments with regards to the
so that he can actually overrule
of the statement.
It is so that he can overrule in case those papers don't come. In anticipation of those papers don't come, let us continue for the sake of case going on.
It felt like they were getting extra work on top of preparing cross-examination for this witness. To me, in my opinion, it didn't feel right. It was like, reminded me of Lorraine making her application for a media blackout.
Hey guys, I'm from the... And actually, where I'm from, there is a Zungu king somewhere around. Not my king. My king is my uncle. On the other side, though, there's a Zungu king. Yeah, the family is Zungu there. I think it originates that side. I think I would believe. I would like to believe. I've got nothing against them. They've
got nothing against them.
The Zungus. The Zungus. Guys, you can call.
The lines are now open, you guys. You can call.
I'm gonna take not more than 5 calls.
Yeah, and then we're closing it up. So make sure you dial.
I'm making sure that those ones who they don't call.
Yeah, don't use the D word, please. The DRUGS word.
So if you want us to shut down now, just start by using the D words to shut down.
Just say illegal substances if you have your commentaries more in the lines of that, and or use vernac when you come to that word. Please don't forget. Please don't forget. Please don't. I beg you. Please don't forget. Please don't forget, okay? YouTube is, YouTubing, child. They are having their own rules over here. So, we are navigating them nicely.
Yeah, I see other people are talking, yeah. Also, 2 important statements from the judge from yesterday, if ever right one. Number 2, I hope everyone caught the request about the arguments that the judge requested they all prepare, including himself, is part of this, on the admissibility of the Zungu statement evidence. So he's doing the state's job. Isn't it?
He is.
But I guess the law allows that. The judge is superior. This is very significant. That's my 2 cents for today. This is your favorite fan, Pamela. Thank you once again for that awesome show and analysis. Thank you.
Thank you for
Mzansi,
that
hello.
point right
there. Hey, Mzansi, what's up?
Hey, you're calling on WhatsApp. What's up?
Okay, like Mzansi, online.
Yes.
Yes, we're online.
Okay, right. Imeli kunjani siqale ngamantombazana.
Siyaphila, qhubeka. Go for it.
Guy, anonymous hamba kanjani mfethu?
All good, man. All good.
Asingimiseli indaba bengithi mina ngeke sibuye ngalomuntu lo bathi nami ngingahlala ngathi ithi ngibheke kahle le ndaba kahle kwenzakalani logayi lo vele nje ufuna ukuqeda yonke iphathi so injani ebhuti omdala riding mina ngibheke lama nickname walomjita asiqaleni ngo-number 5 ne
yes
number 5 bathe nickname yakhe ubani unkani
yes unkani indoda enenkani
yazi sukaphi lento kankani ne yazi umphoyisa stupid when it comes to makayenza lezi zinto zabo ukuthi bafuna isigebengu nobhuti omdala ne
yes
uyakhumbula ubani lo umangena uyakhumbula umangena uthe lesikhathi bathi ubani bafuna something umuntu odulekile enyaweni
yes
and then baya ku accuse number 3 accuse number 3 wathi awubengidlala ibhola wathi kwasha kwavuka asibuyeleni ku accuse number 5 wenzeni walila ngithi
yes unqabile
so it means bona lesikhathi babhala ama-chat wabo bebathe lo unenkani kahle lenta I think beyiya lapho ukuthi okay fine lo unenkani uyabona ugininda nalomjita lo ayibilona yanamhlanje and then nomangena bayalazi udaba
okay but okay
asibuyeleni kubani accuse number 3 asiye ku accuse number 3 manje futhi omdala uma state senza ngathi kahle uyobulela ngithi umZulu wena anonymous uyalazi udaba uma ubulele bathonzana uyagadla ngithi awuzele accuse number 3 uyogadlile wena nkabi yami
hayi kuzwa kahle mfethu danki
umafika asiyeni ku accuse number 2 accuse number 2 bathi ubani bambize bathi ubani umafika
yes
Should accuse number 2 bekabuya le Rustenburg umafika izola njengoba usho nje ukuthi umafika izola akazi lutho then asiye ku accuse number 1
babiza
accuse number 1 kusimpulu kuye baphele bathi umusa that's why bembiza kahle lo guy umusa umusa rubani
what is the name
so
Umuzi. Kahle
le bari cha umuzi. Kathi ibhalile ngiyile jama ngeke siprove wrong ne ibhale phansi yayifunda ngayo many times funda khona le statement sakhe yasifunda angeke vele sibhayizise That is the that's why in yesterday Baloyi makaloka busy lesikhathi aqala le testimony yakhe aloka busy amtshela ukuthi endoda refela kahle isho straight ukuthi accuse number 1 right yebo kunzima aloka busy enkandla yebo kunzima sister kunzima aloka busy enkandla ye unkani not today yes naturally eqineni ne yes amagama wala bantu vela uthama ayahlangahlanganisa kahle even namanje nami abufihlo kuhle vele namanyalenzana so bona bebayenza shortly and then that's why I don't think ukuthi lama nickname bona self lama accuser ayawazi ama nickname ngizothola ukuthi nje abazi ngalama nickname labo guy this guy uyifundile this thing angeke simprove wrong uyifundile bamtshela ugininda nomangena naye lo mjita lo bahleli phansi bathi ntwana ifunde riding like maybe bose kuyi-approach kuye aloku ayifunda kaningi maybe uthe makalova nasesifanyini nanama aloku ayi-repeata this thing phela lo guy angeke lo guy angazusijwayela kabi
Dank. Let us explain to what people what you're saying.
Oh my
God.
Cool. Emin, this is yours. You're taking this one. We're not going to take any call until we finish explaining this.
Literally has the craziest theory, but he could be onto something. He's saying that the police allegedly are the ones who gave them these nicknames. Okay, because when you think about it and you look at the Nkani, it means that he's stubborn.
Stubborn,
right?
yes.
Stubborn.
That is accused number 5. Who refused
to show his legs when they were looking for the
marks.
sparks
Yes.
of the firearm on their legs, and they were visiting prisons, and they went to accused number 5, and he refused to show them his legs, and they were like, Nkani, this one.
Yeah,
and
nickname Nkani. Yeah.
Gadla actually means to strike.
Yes.
Gadla means, kill. And
Yes.
then they're like, okay, so because
Strike,
this
basically.
one is the one who did it. Is the one who...
We were no strike.
And then Mafika, because they had to look for him all the way in Rustenburg, as he is just arriving into the Gauteng in Joburg. So
and then they say, this one is Mafika.
He's just arrived.
It's just arrived.
He's just arrived.
So where it goes wrong is Muzi, right?
Yes.
Muzi means a home.
A home.
So I guess it's saying it's a home of what? Truth.
Yes, the home of truth.
Yeah, that's basically what. That's why we were laughing, guys. For those who are
for those who don't understand.
Because the theory is just
but
wild.
He could be onto something if you really think
the theory
about
is
it.
wild, but I don't think it's their name.
And he
their
says
nicknames.
he doesn't think that these nicknames are theirs.
Yes,
they were given to them.
That I can sort of accept that. Yes.
And he also pointed out how Advocate Baloyi yesterday kept insisting that he referred to them as accused number 1, accused number
refer to them as accused
number 1 and number 2 and number 3. Don't call them by names.
All right.
So that's it. Summary.
Hey guys, this Zungu guy is a bad liar. Should be arrested on Monday. I'm not sure about how Baloyi sleeps at night. Lastly, why then didn't any of those that actually watched Senzo being killed contact the ambulance or the police? Can anyone who's listening answer this question for me, please? That's a good question.
They called Uncle Temba.
Zanzi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. That's the reality.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. You're speaking to Densha from Santon. Thank you so much for the program. I always follow it.
Thank you.
So I'll be quick. I don't know how to follow up in line, so I'll be shooting everywhere.
Okay.
The witness who was there today is a dirty cop. I don't know. For me, I feel like he's a dirty cop because first, what was he doing with those people? It's not by mistake that he was with those people. And then if we can recall that there was a call that came from accused number 5, he was with them. This cop was with the accused number 5, and I think the place where they were, it's closer to where the Kelly Kumalos and whatever place, I think it's nearby. I don't know the kilometers, whatever, but I think it's within the same area. So I think that cop was there to plan something. Maybe the whole thing was planted because now we are going back to what Tefo was saying. Tefo mentioned Tefo was shooting everywhere. The problem with Tefo was a good guy, but he was shooting everywhere. I don't know whether he didn't align his bullets properly. He was shooting everywhere and he found himself out of the league. He mentioned about the dirty cops. He mentioned about this big tele and whatever, but we couldn't follow it properly. But now, see where we are going. We are hearing the names that Tefo was mentioning. They are there now. And the other thing is, this cop guy, he says that the place was busy. There was a lot of movement up and down. And how can he leave his gun in a place that is as busy as that? Something is fishy there. So for him to say he gave someone the gun to put in the gun is just to place his gun that it was not with him. If anything happened to it, it was not with him. What if he went there actually to put that gun in that house for it to go do whatever he wanted it to do. Which cop would leave or remove the gun on him, put it somewhere in a place where it's busy, people are drinking or doing whatever? The gun is not with him, it's in some room somewhere. It's not on him in a busy place. So that is also fishy somewhere there. And then this story of the hoodie and the dreadlocks and changing of the hoodies, they are trying to us to engrave a certain story in us. We keep on hearing the hoodie and the dreadlocks, the hoodie and the dreadlocks. This thing was a planned thing. Now they are trying to seal the whole story so that we say, we've been hearing about the hoodie and the dreadlocks. They are trying by all means to engrave a certain story in us to say, no, from the word go, a hoodie and the dreadlocks were always there. You see? And then the other thing is, what licensed gun was he using, this cop, when that time when he was working, that same time when he was that time, what was his licensed gun?
He said
apart from that, what if that gun, he is the one that killed Senzo Meyiwa? What if he is the one who took it there in that house to go do whatever in that, to go kill Senzo Meyiwa, and then, a planned thing? These people, for something to happen, it takes a very long time for a plan like that to happen. What if this was a planned thing? It could be it was a planned thing. He moved all the way. Because I still don't get the story of him coming, leaving his car, and then after leaving his car, he gives someone his gun. A police giving a gun to someone to go for safety. I thought the gun would be very safe beside him, on him. That is where the safest place that it can be, than putting it in a place that is so busy. So there is something fishy, and there are some big fish in the police, whatever that is going on. Then we have a rotten police, whatever in South Africa that has to be looked at. Something is big is happening, and I'm telling you, this might just be a dead end. Who knows? This judge is always against this. He looks like, when you are watching the judge, it's like this case is decided already. We are just there for the process. It's just a process. Otherwise, it might be a dead story.
Yeah.
They've won already. The judge is on the Kerry's side. I don't want to say they're on the Kerry's side, but he's running of his business there. Already knows where it's going. He's closing everything. They are filling the loopholes. They are closing the whole thing. I think that's all I can say. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Thank
calling. It's a lot, guys. It's a lot. But to see this cop and his testimony is just so scary. It's making me not really feel like cops are cops. It's a very, very tricky relationship. It's should I second guess myself all the time. I have to look beyond the uniform. You understand, Mr. Anonymous? Like, look beyond the uniform, because you may never know who you're dealing with. You are thinking, I'm talking to a police officer, I am safe, but are you? Are you really?
Zungu annoyed Baloyi very much because by calling them by their names, he was proving that he knows them well and hangs out with them. The last caller is 100% correct. Zungu is a allegedly corrupt person. Zungu must fall. Yes.
I will not be speaking for him. He messed up.
Hi guys, it's Moyo. Zungu. Oh, this is yesterday. Oh, by the way, yesterday is it's kind of today in our channel. Sorry, Moyo. Hi guys, it's Moyo. Zungu, in his evidence in chief, he said his statement was on his handwriting, not in printing. Clearly, boom, Baloyi And the judge brought that issue of the notes to kind of collaborate. The story is in his handwriting. Yeah, because the handwriting and Ramasipere kept on saying, I know this handwriting.
He kept saying that at the beginning of his cross-examination. I know this handwriting very well.
And now they want to close that, say that, okay, here's his handwriting. And I see that someone saying that newethu nosisi ngiyaphila ngiyazama ukufona alukhala ucingo ngifisa ukuphawula nami njengomlaleli. This is someone you can try obviously you can try.
You can try now. Okay, now you can try. It's quiet. No one is calling in, so you can try. This is your opportunity and your chance to pick up that phone and dial the number that is scrolling down below and call us and share your opinion. Share your testimony about what you witnessed with what you saw today in court. Because wow, what an emotionally taxing case. This case is a lot.
Okay. Oh, so they said they couldn't trace the phone. I wanted to know if the phone went to Gwabin's house.
Ne?
Yeah.
They said it ended at a first letter's house there.
Yeah, they didn't want to specify where. Yeah, that I wanted to know just that part. Right, guys, I don't want to prolong this. It's already long, Emil. I mean, you had to go through the statement. Please like the video, and thank you very much for being with us. I know it's Saturday, it's Friday, Saturday today. Friday is gone. Look at what you do to us. Friday is gone. So please like the video, share the video as usual, and until the next time, Refilwe. This is, I think, this is the last comment. Nate and Strelo, and then Zenenda. I once saw a guy being sentenced because the investigator told the witness to point him out. This is the last caller. Mzansi, hello.
Pointing.
Hey, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, man.
Yes.
Guys, ukhuluma kakhulu like ngolona mbuzo instead ukuthi labantu lama-defense akhuluma kakhulu but ujaji
Yeah.
like mina ngibona ngathi i-state kumele labantu labazayo kuphela asinandaba ukuthi bonke baya kuphi abanandaba nawo vele sebaqedile ngale nto ngoba uthola ukuthi ijaji iqala statement sakhe iyakhuluma labantu bamphikisa ubona nemililane ukuthi uma bamphikisile akasiliyazi lo muntu uqedile kahle ukuthi akafike ivalue vele like vele usayithi uqedile and into yabo ukuqaleni ayihlangani total angathi ukuthi 1+1 boyihlanganisa kanjani lapha akuhlangani bona inayo yozungu akakwazi ukuthi ubani uyadula senze
Yeah.
akanasho lethi unasho lapha ukuthi bakhona lapha eTavern but ukusuka kwazi ukuthi bayakuphi awunasho ukuthi bayekuphi.
Yes. No.
So ujaji ulima kakhulu akubuke imacala yabomalera no uqiniso ukubulala umuntu angikaze ngibone ijaji ekhuluma kangaka isikhathi ukulalela uthola kuphi isikhathi ukulalela uthola kuphi ngoba wekela umuntu akhulume nestatement sakhe akhulume ngoba uthola ukuthi lomunye ufuna kumthola ngesitayela sakhe ukuthi azali ukuthi manje and so nabonisi bayabhayiza futhi bamphika
No.
ujaji khuluma kakhulu nje misathe ukulalela akanayo like wena usuke waqeda konke ukufana ukuthi ungathi umfundisi wathi ngokushumela ngo-1 city but isikhathi ukulalela molongela ukuthi ephila akanayo as not into like uyayipretendile imali ya
No, thank you very much.
Asinikela abanye i-chance but ujaji mina ngithi ukhuluma kakhulu akathule egcineni izokudinga ayivayo ngala uyi-coach ngala kutheni uyi-player angazi kulunge lo kumele ube ifuna kuba coach ekhetha ukuthi ngifuna kuba coach ifuna kuba referee njalo angeke ube referee ube coach uyi-player isikhathi esiyi
Yeah. No,
Okay,
we hear
let's
you.
give others a chance. Siyabonga.
Thank you. Emel, you wanna interpret that?
Well, just before a politician lies. Well.
So the judge speaks a lot. What else? He doesn't have
should
time
keep
to
quiet.
listen. And
He should keep
you
quiet.
can be a player and a coach at the same time.
time.
Pick one position and stick to it and do
He has
best.
never
and
seen a
do
judge who
best.
talks so
Yeah,
much.
a judge is too much into his feelings in a sense, and that's how he felt also. That he speaks and interjects a lot, also testify. Sometimes that's our feeling. Obviously, we're not saying that is the case. By the way, we have a new member, Emily.
Hi, new member. Welcome to the
It's
Mzansi
John.
Reality
Yes.
family.
Thank you. Guys, I would like to take your calls, but no. More so if I have taken your call before. Today, I'm just shutting down. It's not like I'm denying someone who has not called. You call again on Monday when we have more information of the notes disappearing, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Something to those lines, along those lines.
But we have a backup of arguments regarding the admissibility of the statement.
Yes. Thank you, guys. It's a bye from me. Bye, Tuli Tools.
Bye.
Hold on.